You can't access Cavalier difficulty if you're not level 60. The game went down yesterday. Oh, and it was a bad one. And Kabam have made an oopsie when it comes to Alliance Wars Season 19. Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the Marvel Contest and Champions News for Monday. We've got a lot of stories to deep dive when it comes to opinions from the community, Kabam responding back to things that have really dropped over the weekend, and all the stuff that's really about all the Canadian difficulty and the restrictions when it comes to level access. And also a little follow-up from Friday, the fact that people were like, Rich, have a lovely weekend. Oh, have a lovely time. I know you just made that video in a little bit of a rush, you know, because the information's just dropped. I vaguely know how to say the word Poutine, and I said Poutine. So, yeah. Thanks everybody. That's nice of you. Also, it's a bit of an eye-opener that Canadians have got something that's named after the Russian president. So, that looks a bit like, well, I'm not going to say what it looks like, but it looks disgusting what you put on your fries. Yeah. But in any case, if it's Poutine or it's Poutine or it's whatever it is, thank you very much to my current YouTube members and patrons who are on screen at the moment. Thank you for the support that you do for the channel, and as well those that subscribe through the means of Twitch. And if you have an Amazon Prime account and want to give a free Twitch sub, you can do by following the on-screen instructions. I should be live streaming today, but there's a lot of stuff going on this week which we'll talk about in a moment. That follow the instructions if you want to do the free Twitch sub and that if you're Amazon Primed. And yeah, see you later on. And yeah, as I said, this is going to be a massive week. There's lots of things like the Hulkbuster buff going on, the new update, Cavalier difficulty or Canadian difficulty, loads of like information when it comes to the dev diaries. And as well for me personally, I'll be doing Iron Man VR, which is going to be a massive undertaking to get that all done on the 3rd of July. So very busy time on the channel, and as well I've got crystal openings and 4th of July as well, so it's going to be a massive old time. But let's get into the news, shall we? First and foremost, is a reminder to everybody that the Contest Round podcast is out. In this episode, we wrap up a lot of things from last week, including the trials and tribulations of the various roadmaps, and as well we obviously deep dive the quest roadmap and look at the fundamental improvements, and also we talk a little bit about July 4th predictions, wants and desires, and all the stuff in between, and the Canadian difficulty. Go check it out, link is in the description down below. Okay, next up, and as worst case scenarios go, the game went down yesterday, and it went down at, yes, the worst possible time. Now I know some people will say, well, Alliance Wars and Alliance Quest, oh, surely people should have done that earlier. It's not always the case, especially when it comes to like, it's Sunday. And one of the biggest things out of like this game that we've learned in the last few months is quality of life is very, very important. But there may be good news when it comes to potential compensation. So I'm not going to give everyone's hopes up by saying we will be seeing it, but this is positive to say I'm talking to folks about the timing of the inconvenience this put on everyone. Hope to have more information tomorrow. Okay, and next up, let's talk about Alliance Wars 19 situation. Now, it has been confirmed that Season 19 was created prior to the general feedback, which obviously, if you watched the podcast or listened to the podcast yesterday, you'll know that. This is when I think that it would have been nice to just kind of alert the community what you've built with Alliance Wars Season 19. At the end of the day, this is something that was pre-built prior to the general feedback of May, early May. So the fact is, this does not reflect any of the feedback and as well the pain points that players have experienced. So the question would be, would they have preferred the idea of not doing Alliance Wars Season 19 and maybe Kabam's going, right, we've got this stuff, guys, it doesn't fit in the scheme of what we're doing, cutting it and going, look, we'll come back in another couple months, 3 months with Alliance Wars Season and go, look, you know, this is what it is. Players maybe would have still do Alliance Wars, but the seasons aspect would largely be cut, especially because it reflects a lot of like there's a lot of negativity towards the fact of rewards being bad, and the way that say anything lower than, I think it's Platinum 3 or Platinum 4 are going to get the most stinkiest of rewards ever when it comes to like the general effort. And people can debate whether or not, you know, players deserve stuff, but it's like the mid-level players are just going to be like, just just shut out when it comes to this stuff. If you're gold 1 or lower than that, it's like it's no great evolution. And the same thing will be for a future story about the northern expeditions and how that doesn't really reflect. I think the normal difficulty's been removed from the side quest, but you know, let's focus on Alliance Wars season 19 stuff at the moment. So our forum post has been created to give your feedback. This was created, I think it was on Friday. So a lot of people are talking about like ebb and flow, and there's so much stuff that kind of like replicates the same. And as I said, Invisible Woman, Darkhawk, they always seem to be on the same ones, especially when it comes to like nodes of ebb and flow. You know, there's so many different kind of like things to kind of note here that players are coming up with. Loads of pain points. This player saying about node 23. We've got 17 kills with Domino, and it's just you know, it's not like the great. People have got great defenders, but at the same time, it's like it's just painful. It's always painful. And I know this is meant to be focused on something that's not defense tactics, but the problem is everything is ramped up and amplified. So it just means that if you're putting something on a defense tactics are amplifying the frustration. So it's like it is part of the mix that are just going to cause frustration. And yeah, attack tactics haven't been put in, but that's the thing. They should have been put in when this went in, so that we could see whether or not it made any difference. Because at the moment, we're just like swimming in a load of poutine at the moment. Also, I've seen this a few times. Hazard shift on with the Limber Korg. That's something that's been a bit of a frustration for a lot of players. Tunnel vision. I hear that cropping up a lot of now, and it's just, it ain't good. It ain't good. And this when it boils down to like the common sense of the matter. As a developer going like, okay, making the decision of if we put this out, players will not be happy. Should we still put it out? If the answer was yes, let's put it out, then that's the reason that we've got I like this forum post here about demoralized players. The difference is if they decided not to put it out and just say, look, just to let you know, we're not putting out season 19. We feel that it's the wrong time to do it. It doesn't reflect some of the changes. Then it would be a case of going like, right, well, this wouldn't exist. This demoralized player thing would not exist. So that's something that needs to be really addressed. Like the conscience of somebody in Kabam to say, look, is this in keeping? Yes, we'll lose man hours of development, but will we keep players just a little bit calmer, sort of happier, and as well getting the idea that we understand what they want. That's the difference there in that particular point. And yeah, this is something that needs to be addressed. There is a forum post about like, well, pain points, but as well this would need to be addressed prior to season 19. But will it actually? That's the thing. Are they able to develop that quickly to remove a load of things, make it tolerable, and also, you know, save players from going, do you know what, I'm going to go alliance free, or I'm just going to go to an alliance quest only alliance. Those are going to be key things as well. And finally, with the rewards being so kind of like bad when it comes to like being gold 1 or gold 2, yes, it does focus much more that you will have to experience more of a pain point to join alliances that are platinum 4 and above, because there's a big kind of like gap between them, like that 2,500 to 5,000 on the 6-star shards. So, and yeah, as well with the 5-star shards as well. There's a real discrepancy there, and also many other things as well. So, yeah, players will obviously make a decision whether or not they're going a alliance free or AQ only focused alliances. So, not a good time for the game when it comes to this. And now something we've got to talk about is the expeditions. Yes, the Canadian expeditions, Northern expeditions. This one is basically focused on the side quest of next month, and there's a lot of discrepancies when it comes to the way that the rewards are presented, and as well the access through the what seems to be now a level gating system for the likes of Cavalier difficulty going forward. Now, as things usually go on Friday when I was nipping out the door, I didn't see this level of information which talked about the gating system and as well obviously the breakdown of rewards from the various difficulties. Now, the main thing that players have come out to comment on is the fact of comparison with the likes of Moleman expeditions. Now, yes, that does seem the case. I've got the graphic on the right at the moment, and it basically does showcase a little bit of an issue. And yeah, that's mainly with the epic side of things, and Well, we'll go down to the master section in a moment, but the fact is you can see with the Canadian difficulty, this is meant to be like your Cavalier side of things, and the volume needs to be speaking more towards the epic side of being bumped up a little bit for players. However though, what happens when you go down further down the line? Now with the Mole Man expeditions, people could say that that was a multi-path type thing, where this is meant to be significantly less, which will go on in a moment. However though, the rewards still again aren't exactly befitting of something like that, with the normal difficulty being completely stripped away from this, as well the master difficulty not resembling a high bump in the amount of 5-star shards available, and as well, you know, the fact for players having to be forced somewhat to do heroic and not having the option for a normal, it is kind of a little bit sucky because players may not be ready to do a heroic difficulty if they are indeed new to the game. The only slight justification is you'll be basically saved on 8 additional paths if you compare Mole Man Expeditions, which is obviously on screen at the moment, against what will be the Northern Expeditions. This then brings us to the subject of level gating, and the fact that you need to be level 60 in order to enter the Canadian difficulty, or the Cavalier difficulty. Bit of a difficult one to push the thought process here, because I'm sure people will differ with where you are. Now, champion availability and skill level. That is largely what is dependent for you to be able to do Cavalier difficulty, get the Cavalier title, because let's face it, a lot of players have kind of like gone through uncollected, they've just become straight up uncollected, they've then jumped over to Act 6.1, they've become Cavalier, and now they may be a case of the 100%ing Act 5, and then they're going to go and try and do Act 6.1 100%. So here's the thing, I don't know if this is a fair reflection on people's skills, but I think the Kabam want to create some kind of like process that you're working towards this and being level 60. I would say to anybody that wants to get level 60 fast is pop your 40% XP boost, go and grind content, explore some stuff that you've not normally explored. You know, that's the best thing to do at this moment in time. But yeah, I do agree that there is a point of going, look, well, if you've got the champions and you've got the skill, then you'll probably be able to do Cavalier difficulty. But the biggest problem will be, are you ready for it? Because there could be someone that's Cavalier that only has a couple of 6 stars and a few rank 5 stars and go like, oh, well, I'm ready for this. And then we'll say, oh no, this is too difficult. But it's like, is this then Kabam's fault for making it too difficult? Are you too early to access Cavalier difficulty? Those are some key questions, and also some kind of points of kind of going, will people differ with the thought process on anybody being able to access Cavalier difficulty at, say, level 40 as opposed to Kabam's restriction at level 60. So that's open for discussion, I think, from the player base. But regardless of the fact of maybe the poor rewards and then those kind of discrepancies, it'll be interesting to see what happens this week, and I'll probably be doing a video just like giving my thoughts on Wednesday when it goes live. However though, we've got to now move on to arena predictions. All my predictions down below at the moment for round 2 of Hitmonkey and Venompool in the arena. Now let's just quickly go over some results. Now there's a player that's claiming that they got position 95 with 78 mil, which if that is the case could even put Hitmonkey as a 5-star down to a 55 mil slot to actually get him. Obviously that is speculation, and we'll wait to see the full results later on, because not many people have posted Hitmonkey 5-star results. It also seems that Hitmonkey has gone low as a 4-star, with position 753 got by this player for 11 mil. And also Alberto has charted a 1.6 mil, 1.62 mil to be exact, picking up Venompool. So if you are looking to pick it up for whatever reason, then that is the score that you need to do. So there we have it. That has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for today. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. Yes, the like button. And as well, don't forget to check out some other content that's over in that direction as well. So yeah, and as well, see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.